Hi guys, my name is Christina and welcome to my channel, and in today's video we're going to be talking about time, how to find it, to work on your story and to draw a comic, all of the good stuff. Okay, wait. I'm not bougie, it's just because all of my other glasses are in the dishwasher. So, talking about time, it's not really about finding time, it's about optimizing your time. And it's also about making it easier for you to access your working process. So basically this is just two things that I need to focus on when I'm trying to find time to work on my stuff. So what I mean by optimizing time, it's so basically we waste a lot of time actually. It's not like we don't have it, we just waste it doing something else. Just notice how much time do you spend just browsing on your phone, how much time do you spend watching YouTube. If you're watching me, it's of course fine. But overall, like or how much time we're spending just sitting on the sofa, or how much time we just, daydreaming or just doing some stuff that is not productive at all. For example, we're watching TV shows, not like the good ones that I think we can learn from, or like the ones we're waiting to watch, but just random, just because we don't know what else to do, anything. So basically, a lot of time we do waste. So, and all this time can be spent better. So it's just good to recognize that you actually have a lot of time to work and you just got used to spend it differently. So my first thought would be try to look at your life and what you're doing and try to notice where you're wasting time, when you're doing something else. And you don't have to immediately restructure things around, but just notice that and start with not just canceling, time that you spend doing something else, but try to slowly start doing activities that are more related to creating your comic, creating your story. For example, if you notice that you're browsing a lot on Pinterest, try instead to start looking on the Pinterest some reference boards for your comic, some costume ideas, some location ideas, all of that. So you're still on Pinterest, but you're actually kind of tricking yourself and working on your story. Or for example, if you're literally daydreaming, instead of daydreaming, start thinking about plot that you might have. And the next step would be just take your phone and start putting it down. And the same thing with like watching videos on YouTube. Start watching videos on YouTube that are actually informative and can tell you more about how to write a story, or can be some research to help you write it better and draw it better. So this is first thing, try to minimize time that you already have. You for sure, I'm pretty sure, have some extra time. And then the other side that I mentioned is try to make it easier for you to start working. For example, what helps me is, for example, having my computer turned on almost all the time. My computer always turned on. I never turn it off, and when it's turned on, I can hear my neighbors, so they probably can hear me. So sometimes you just like water so much. Sometimes you don't want to stay hydrated, but there are some times when you're thirsty. So I personally have my computer turned on all the time, and when I have it turned on, I always have the current project open. So I always have my Photoshop file open, I always have my reference board and everything. So for me to start working on my comic, it literally takes nothing. I just because my apartment is a bachelor unit, because in Toronto it's very place is very expensive, and yeah, so basically I have a bed right here, so for me to start working in the morning I just have to roll from it and just sit on this chair and I can go. So that's very easy for me personally. Or if I'm just coming home, I literally can take off my street clothes, like my jacket or whatever, and just go right back to work. So it takes no extra preparation to start working. I think it's also very important when you don't have to waste extra time to get to work. Nothing is standing on your way, so it also saves you a lot of time as well. Another tip. That's not like a tip, it's just me being, one of those motivational people who is follow your goals and everything, but basically it kind of comes along, and it kind of goes along with the idea of we are having a lot of time, so just wasting a lot of time as well. Think about what is important. I talk to a lot of artists who are really passionate about their work and do a lot of it, but I also talk to a lot of artists who it's not that important for them to have something to show in the end of the day. They just do it for fun, a little bit here and there. So for them, it's not like a serious work. It's just hobby. So this tip will not apply to people who think the same way. Because I personally don't think that art is my hobby. Art is my calling, it's my job, it's everything. It's everything I do. I breathe art, I inhale, I exhale art. So basically I do it all the time. So this tip is know your priorities and look at the harsh reality. For example, if you have a long story and you're already doing it a little bit, and you can estimate how much time it will take for you to complete it. And usually when you actually realistically estimate it, the time is really scary. So then you can start thinking, well, if my goal is to complete this piece of art, I either have to spend this much time of my life doing it, or I have to prioritize and see what's more important. Is it more important for me to work on my story or just to go shopping randomly? Or for example, is it just more important for me again to work on it, or I just wanna, you know, hang out with friends, go to the party and everything, and socializing is very important, but well, no, there's different types. Sometimes you spend quality time, sometimes you go and do really interesting, important stuff, and sometimes you just wasting your time because you're like, oh, yo, Jessica, what are you doing? Nothing, me too, let's, I don't know, go to the bar. You know, there is that type of situation. Sorry, my dog is walking and sniffing tripod. Hey. No? Hi, how are you doing? Her fur is on my face. So think what is important for you and what type of activities you are choosing instead of working on it. And again, if it's just a hobby for you, that tip is not for you at all. But if it's not, if you want to complete stuff, if you want to get it done, then it's important that you make your choices. That's important that you make it your priority to some degree. So you know how, for example, your day job is your priority, like, and then, you know, spending time with your family after work, it's your priority, and then this should be somewhere close to that, and then everything that comes underneath comes in the time that after, some other time. So that's another thought to consider. So basically this video is very short, it's just that, it's just those 2 points. And the hardest part is to start, really, because sometimes we're not starting because we're thinking, oh, it's gonna be so hard. We don't know what it is, how is it gonna feel, how much time it's gonna take. Maybe we're thinking like, oh, if I'm gonna work in it, I'm gonna be super tired, all of this. You know, we're starting being afraid of things that we don't even know. So the hardest part is to start. The moment you start, you will not be thinking about how do I find time to do this. You will not be thinking that, oh, you know, I'm so busy all the time. No, I think if you're thinking this way, you haven't started, or you haven't like really started. You just maybe do a little bit, but you didn't start the work. Because when you started, and the moment you invest a little bit of your time, you want to work more on it. It starts calling you, literally. After working on my comic as long as I did or have one of this, when I take a break, it's calling me. It's no longer like, will I have time to do it? It's like, I have to do it. I want to do it. I can't stop myself from doing it. So yeah, so if you want to learn how to start, I will link a video down below or somewhere in the cards on the screen, where I'm basically talking about how to start, like how to overcome this first step and actually start working on your story. And I hope this video will help you with that. But basically, there is time. There is always time, for sure. For sure. I work on my comic when I was working on several freelance jobs, was taking care of my siblings when my parents were working in another city, and finishing university, was in the last year of university. So, and this was the time when I did the first chapter of my comic. So it is definitely possible. You can do it. We all can do it, so go do it, basically. So I hope this video was helpful. It was very short. There is a lot of videos with all other motivational advices around, and there's a video of how to stay motivated and how to be productive. I will also link it down below. Might be helpful for you after you start and start working. So yeah, hope it was helpful. Thank you guys, thank you for watching, and bye. Thanks.